Hey guys, so back in 2019 after watching a few episodes Long Way Round, I had this great idea. Let's buy a motorbike and travel from the south tip to the north tip of Australia, and I think I might bring my missus along.
Time to leave, a month on the road. That's what a month looks like. 3 years of waiting, 8 months of planning. It's time. There she is, ready to go for the maiden voyage. Off to the prom, southern tip, up to Cape York. 30 days of fun. See who's on the road. Okay, wait a minute. Let's rewind a bit. So, let's maybe go through what the plans were. So I managed to get 28 days off work, which is hard for anybody that's, hasn't got long service leave and stuff. That was a bit of a challenge. Anyway, we got that sorted. So we had 28 days to get to the south tip of Wilson's Prom, do the 2-day hike, park up the bike, hike back, jump on, and then straight through the guts of Australia up to Cape York. But another little problem, we had to get back as well. Oh, that hill's a fucking killer. Oh, it's worth it, I hope. Well, I made it to Roaring Meg. What the campsite. Lace, wave.
Wave?
Yeah, stick your head out.
A photo on my steps.
So we spent the rest of the evening just relaxing, getting some much needed rest, and in hindsight, never camped next to a river. I think I went to pee about 15 times. In the morning, after a much needed rest, we headed off to the south tip. I think it was about a 3-hour return, so we left our camp set up, did a nice hike without the packs, and then came back, packed up our stuff and headed back to the bike.
Off we go, the most southern point of Australia. Well, we did it. Most southern point of the Australian mainland. Off we go next.
Hang on, what are we doing?
Cape York. Just a leisurely 3,100 k's. So another thing I forgot to mention, I only came off my learners about 3 months before we started the trip. I think I got the bike 1 month before. Coming from a Ninja 300 to a full-size 1200cc BMW GS adventure bike. For anyone that doesn't know, they're about twice the weight and 1.5 times the size at least of my bike that I learnt on. I'd never ridden with a Pillion before because I was on a learner's permit, so everything along the way was a learning experience. Day one's knocked out the way. 700 k's, made it to West Wyre on humble tent setup on the base. Bike's been a dream, no problems.
I don't.
There's some dinner cooking. Beautiful Barbie. And some coleslaw. And a nice drink. Camp kitchen leaves a lot to be desired. Fuel stop at Walgett, New South. Fucking hot now. Onto Lightning Ridge, be there in about 80 k's out.
Visitor Information Centre. He's found a bit of opal. Beautiful weather. It's 28 degrees.
After our stay at Lightning Ridge, which was an absolute ripper, we headed across the Queensland border finally and stayed the night in Roma. I don't really have any footage for you guys from Roma. There wasn't much going on. We rolled up pretty late and we were absolutely exhausted, so we kind of cheated, got a hotel room, went to sleep, got up the next day and kept trucking on.
Here we are at Carnarvon Gorge, Queensland.
Next leg of the journey was a real stretch. We had to do over 1,000 k's from Roma to Townsville, and we thought, you know what, let's break it up with somewhere beautiful, and Carnarvon Gorge, you didn't fail to impress.
Oh, we've made it to sunny Townsville, Queensland. Oh, bloody boiler. It's a hard ride, 36 degrees.
Fortunately in this clip, guys, I had to get rid of the audio. The wind noise was absolutely horrendous. But it's all blah blah anyway. I was basically saying it's insane how murky the water looks, and over there's Magnetic Island. Sweet. On the next leg of the journey, we head from Townsville up to Cairns. We spend a few nights in Cairns to recuperate, and I get some off-road tyres put on the GS. We went for TKC 80s, they served us really well in the dirt. On the way up though, we stopped off at Crystal Creek, which was just a fantastic little location, not really far off our beaten track.
This is Wits Lookout in the Paloma Ranges, not far north Queensland. Absolutely gorgeous. Hell of a walk.
Heading into Cairns, it was a hell of a ride. It was 34 degrees, and with all our gear on, we were sweating like crazy, but it's better than getting scraped off the tarmac. Once we got to Cairns, we booked in for the Great Barrier Reef, which has been on the bucket list for years. The Great Barrier Reef really is just such a magical place. I found it really hard not to fill the video with 2 hours of underwater footage, but for anyone that's been there, it really takes your breath away. Well, that's it for part 1. In part 2, we get off the black stuff and into the dirt. That's when the real adventure begins, guys. Come along, don't forget to check it out, and please give us a subscribe and a like so we can keep the content coming.